Morning everyone, how are you doing? Just thought I'd bring you for a little walk around a little part of my village. Well, it's not my village, but where I live, teeny tiny little hamlet. And yeah, I just thought that I'd say happy World Earth Day to everybody. World Earth Day, it's the 50th year this year, and here we are in our splendid isolation. Well, obviously, you know, I'm going for a little stroll, but yes, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to flick the camera around, and if I can find it, I'm not very techie, so if morning Sasha, if I get cut off, I'll put back on. I'm just trying to flick the camera around so you can sort of see where I am. Is that working? Yeah, there we are. There's Pagan. We're in an orchard now. There's the church at the bottom of my village. So yeah, World Earth Day. And as you know, we've been stuck in isolation now. The whole world has shut down for the last sort of, what, 3.5, 4 weeks. And I know that every single one of you will have noticed how beautiful the bird song is in the morning. How much clearer the skies are. And Pete's got a stick there, look. Yeah, how much clearer the skies are, and how much more serenity there is about. It's a funny old time, because obviously we're in the middle of a pandemic. COVID-19, coronavirus, whatever you want to call it. They keep chopping and changing the name. But seriously, yes, it is disturbing. It really is. I'm taking nothing away from that at all. But the real pandemic in all of this are the vile animal agriculture industries. They are the biggest pollutants on the planet. Over 75% of all global warming and emissions comes directly from animal agriculture, which includes, you know, let's not separate them, which includes the dairy industry. You know, these places, these industries really are the pits, and we need to do everything we can to oppose them at every single opportunity. It's just, it's gone beyond comprehension now. It really has. And as you are stuck in your house, and if you're not lucky enough to have access to, you know, beautiful places like this, because of this isolation, think of the animals. Think of the animals that are stuck in isolation constantly, and what have they done to deserve this? Absolutely nothing whatsoever. You know, you've got cows that are living permanently in gestation crates. They cannot turn round. They cannot comfort their young. You know, in the dairy industry, you know, 97% of all calves born into that, you know, into the dairy industry are forcibly removed within 24 hours. They end up in veal crates. Jackie Star, morning, happy Earth Day everyone. Yeah, thank you very much. So yes, you know, you've then also got, you know, huge barns and huge sheds for chickens, and some of these, you know, contain 200 to 300,000 chickens at a time. The chickens are covered in their own feces. They cannot move, they cannot hardly walk, and they're supposedly called free range. Well, hang on a minute, no they're not. And let me tell you a fact about chickens. Chickens now are probably 4 to 5 times the size of what they should be because of the foods we feed them for the meat. If, and you can check this out, this is a fact, if we were to feed our own children at the same rate that we feed chickens to grow, by age 2, a child would weigh 350 pounds. The chickens in these places suffer horrendous and horrifying leg breaks where they just are not equipped to be moving around. Now imagine that, seriously. What have we become? And not just what have we become, what are we doing about it? These industries are vile, and the year is 2020. We're all equipped now with 2020 vision because this pandemic is bringing us so much clarity. Being vegan is not enough. It really isn't. We have to keep bombarding, we have to keep questioning why these companies are getting away with it. And let's take nothing away from it at all. It is our meddlesome ways and our abuse of animals that has led to this pandemic. For the last 60 years, HIV, Ebola, SARS, MERS, avian flu, swine flu, and now COVID-19 all stem from, you know, our Frankensteining and our abuse of animals. And the animals get these diseases, and there it stays until they come into the food chain. Now, I wrote a post this morning on Beneath the Wood page, and it actually says, because everyone knows we rescued the 53 pigs last year, those 53 pigs were classed as diseased with TSE, which is basically the swine equivalent of BSE. Now, we had to give our word, and we had to be vetted thoroughly, that those animals would not be allowed to get into the food chain, because then it could create sickness within humans. Well, hang on a minute. They know that when you've got animals, same as humans, kept in cramped and squalid conditions, you are going to get diseases. They're going to manifest. It's an ideal and perfect breeding ground to do so. And the diseases come about, they then stay within the animals until they go in the food chain. So how come we have had to say strictly that the pigs, which we'd never put in the food chain anyway because we're a vegan run sanctuary, how come that happens, but then in the hypocritical stance, animals that are infected anyway openly go into the food chain at the rate of, and I'm on about 4 species here, chickens, pigs, sheep and cows, 5,000 per second are slaughtered, and they still are being. Slaughterhouses have not closed, they're still working flat out. 5,000 animals per second, 300,000 every single minute. That's 18 million every single hour. That's 432 million every single day. That is 1.5 billion a week and 74 billion a year. There's only 7.7 million, 7.8 billion, sorry, people on the planet. How come we are now eradicating and slaughtering 10 times that amount of animals each year? And then it's creating a pandemic. It's the biggest pollutant, and it really, really has to end. Sasha, consuming death just creates death and disease. It's so true. Horrifying statistics, they really are. Willett Rees, all viruses and diseases are caused either by the body or by toxins. But when it sort of comes about from our interference with animals, then obviously, you know, it's a different matter entirely. But this is a reason why we need to go vegan. We need to raise awareness at every single opportunity. Now, splendid isolation, as you can see. You know, I'm walking around here today. Pagan, come on. My dog's laying down in the shade, bless his heart. Let's talk about animal rescuers, people that save animals. Obviously, I'm very privileged, and you know, I joint own Beneath the Wood Sanctuary. If on your journey through today you think about anything I've said, if you can find it within you and you've got even a few pounds spare, you know, please donate to Beneath the Wood Sanctuary, because obviously we've got about 125, 130 animals, and we do our best for them. Another sanctuary that's well worth endorsing is Liberty Sanctuary, and that's based up in Stoke-on-Trent. That's another good one. And also PUDZ Animal Sanctuary, that's PUDZ. That's always, you know, I do talks for them, and Sheena just goes above and beyond and does so many animal rescues. You know, it's another good one. Also Miracles Mission. We are working against everything. You know, the 4 I've mentioned there, You know, seriously, it is not easy, and because now more and more animals are getting offered, they're getting neglected and abused, we cannot take them all, but we have to concentrate on the ones that we are caring for and we are keeping safe. So like I say, you know, feel free to rewind, listen again. If you want us to support one of those 4 places I've mentioned, then I would be really, really chuffed. Yeah, so I hope you are all enjoying Earth Day. I hope that you are managing to, you know, relax and contemplate. And obviously it's a massive time, you know, for people to obviously contemplate. And that's what it's all about. There are no coincidences, only synchronicities. The 50th year of World Earth Day celebrations, and here we are. We're supposed to stand about 2 meters away from everyone we come into contact with. Apart from, like I say, I've taken animals into a slaughterhouse, I've watched what happens. There is no possible way that there is going to be social distancing in a slaughterhouse. Now, why isn't this being addressed? Why isn't this being brought up? You only have to check it out on Google. It's common sense. We are eating poison, it's spreading into humans, and people are dying from this. Let me just open the gate for P. Go on in. We're now just going to stroll through the churchyard. Yeah, this is like the village where I live. Yeah, look at this. How beautiful is that, eh? Karina, it is beautiful where I live. I am very, very lucky. It's a teeny tiny little hamlet. I mean, the nearest shop from me is 2 miles away, and that's only a community shop. Yeah, no, I like it. I've lived here, what, 3.5 years now. So yes, like I say, you know, please support the sanctuaries mentioned. Do what you can, raise awareness at every opportunity, because as I said, being vegan now is not enough. It really isn't. We have to keep pushing the message. We really, really do. You know, in their capacity to suffer, there is no difference. You know, a pig is a sheep, is a cow, is a chicken, is a dog, is a boy. There is no different. You know? And the animals, there's Pagan there, just strolling on, bless his heart. You know, the animals are not here for us. You know, they are here with us. And unless we start heeding these messages, and unless we start being symbiotic, you know, with everything that is around and working with, instead of thinking that it's a competition and we have to work against it all, then pandemics like this are going to keep coming. They really are. It's inevitable. And, you know, history shows us that. Everything's, you know, circular, and it goes round in cycles. So unless we start heeding the warnings that have been happening now for hundreds of years, specifically over the last sort of 60 years since HIV came out in the late, I think that came about in about 1958-59, but it wasn't really noted until sort of the early 80s. But and that was simply because we started eating monkeys. You know, we can relate everything, you know. And like I said, I mean, look at the sky up there. You know, you've got no chemtrails at all. It is absolutely beautiful. But we could easily carry on as we were and have a lot less pollution, less so than what there is now, if we just work on pushing and getting rid of animal agriculture. Seriously, you know, and I can relate water acidification, cancers, obesity, climate, pollution, everything to those vile industries. And that's before we start mentioning our own health. And the thing is, you know, they're massive businesses. And I do think that in my lifetime, we are going to see the end of the vile dairy industry. The writing is on the wall. We need to literally smash that into the ground and blow it up. We really do. You know, places that exploit and abuse animals have got no purpose. They've never had a purpose in this world, but now, because we are just reaching pandemic or plandemic proportions of wrongness, then we need to start thinking about it. We need to start acting and turning it all around. We really, really do. But yeah, look at this, look. And if you can see those houses just over there, I live behind those houses in a little row of bungalows. It is, look at this, look, here. Isn't it just absolutely beautiful? And there's the church, look. And Mr. Pagan is getting a little bit like, can you see him up there? Look, Pagan, come here, come on. Let's see if he'll go to nose to put his nose near the camera. Come here, darling, come on. Here he is, look, trundling away with his stick. All right, P? Hey? Bless his little heart. But yeah, like I say, together we can. Now we've got sort of clarity. We know what we want to be doing. We know what has got to sort of come out of this, and this will soon pass. But we just have to be prepared for massive, massive changes. You know, and this all gives us now a platform of what we really want to bring to fruition in the future. It really does. And we all have choices, and those choices should never ever involve the suffering of others. Never. Now, you know, please, on your journey through the day, if you know, I'll help anyone transition. You know, I'm a qualified, you know, vegan nutritionist. I can always do meal plans if they'll help, as several of you know, and I'm already doing a few for people. Seriously, you know, I can put myself in the place that you were. Like I say, I've been responsible for the deaths of many animals, not just through my consumption, but because I used to raise animals for food. I used to kill many myself, and I've walked, you know, sheep, pigs, piglets and lambs into the slaughterhouse. I'm not going to judge any of you, you know what I mean? But what matters is that you think long and hard about your choices. Like I say, you know, they're not our choices when they involve the suffering of an innocent, and that's what we've got to, you know, seriously consider. So your journey through the day, if you do open up your fridge and you see cow's milk in there, or you see a packet of, you know, pork bacon or whatever, then please contemplate and think long and hard about your choices, because I am sure that 99.9% of vegans would say it's the best thing they've ever done, and their only regret is not having done it sooner. Look, here, Pagan's doing his little nut. Are you going to do a nut for us, P? No, he's gone all camera shy now. Michelle Moss, it really is so refreshing to hear the birds, isn't it? Yeah, Sasha, now is the time to embrace veganism for the sake of the whole planet and its inhabitants. Yes, and then also, you know, for the animals, for our own health, you know, enough is enough now. You know, we're supposed to be a free thinking and an evolved species. You know, we know better now. There are no excuses. Cognitive dissonance, you know, I'm not having that one anymore. You know, keeping your head buried. People know better, you know. And basically for me, all that cognitive dissonance means is that you turn a blind eye, pretend it isn't happening, but you're still supporting it with your purchases anyway. It's nothing short of hypocritical. It really is, you know. And if you look on Beneath the Wood posts, you know, we get hundreds of likes and various messages and all that. People love it that we've saved so many pigs. you know, because it's in our DNA. Like I said this morning, it's in our DNA and our very essence to not want to harm or wish harm upon another being. We know better now, we really do, and it is time that we started to be better, to act better and do better. So yeah, there you go. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the little walk with me and Mr. Pagan there, and I'm probably squinting a bit now because the sun's right in my eyes. But yeah, like I say, if any of you are thinking about, you know, changing, making the change, you think I can help in any way, then please, my website is johnarwin.com. You can get my email address in there. If you look on my Facebook page, it's got my phone number on there. Call me, text me, WhatsApp. I will help you make the changes. I really, really will. And let's get together now. Let's start uniting and realising that now is the time, you know. You know, it's time that we entered a cruelty-free world. But yeah, right. Thank you very, very much. Enjoy your day, and I will see you all very soon. What do you think of that then, Pagan? Yeah, not a lot, look. Right, enjoy your day. Take care, everyone. Thank you. Bye.